Welcome to the den. Big talk, no bark. Welcome to the den. Kings don't flinch, we don't follow trends. Truth gets raw when the lions defend. So take 10, this ain't a show, it's the lion's den. I've been stamped up, borders don't bind me. Ghana to the Thai seas, YouTube sold you dreams of beach queens and flights. But I show you real talk, not thumbnails and hype. Ain't about flexing, I'm exposed in the game. Where culture meets choices, not clout for fame. Black man travels, I elevate lights. But I show you real talk, not thumbnails and hype. Ain't about flex, I'm exposing the game. Where culture meets choices, not clout for fame. Black man travels, I elevate the route. Not just girls in the frame, but what manhood's about. What manhood's about. What manhood's about. I decode your position, been married 7 deep, still sharp as a tack. Talk legacy, freedom, how to never look back. Podcast ain't therapy, it's elite consultation. You step in here, respect the conversation. Warrior poet, seasoned vet with scars and lessons. Call me Ronin, lone wolf, but I lead the pride. Gulf War scars and a sharper mind. From Somalia's heat to boardroom biz, I've lived 10 lives just to speak like this. PTSD in my rear view, still moving with poise. Now I show these young kings how to silence the noise. No gimmicks, no scripts, just war-tested truth. This ain't YouTube clout, this is mentoring youth. Big talk, no bark, welcome to the den. Alpha minds only, we don't blend in. Voice to the voiceless, fatherhood and grit. Step to the mic and don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. Welcome to the den. Welcome to the den. Alpha minds only, we don't blend in. Voice to the voiceless, fatherhood and grit. Step to the mic and don't ever quit.
All right, man, we are here. Let's get this going on. It is a Friday night. We are about to get it live. We're not playing around. We're getting right to it. So if you guys don't know, it has been on the news. I know a lot of guys may not watch the news or know what's going on, but every year, I think since 1962, there has been a jazz festival in Cincinnati. It was called the Jazz Festival. And at that time, they were doing more jazz. It was the Ohio Valley Jazz Festival. And then it later on, they used to have people like, it was a 3-day event. So Friday would be like more of the urban day. Then it would be like the Gladys nights and things on the Saturday. Sunday would be the laid back day where it would be jazz. Was that
I'm just trying to copy off Kansas City. That's all.
Yeah,
I was just trying to copy off Kansas City.
Oh no, we have been doing that for so long.
Bro, we got the Jazz Museum in Kansas City, bro. Kansas City is known for its jazz. You didn't know?
Yeah, well, that could be fine. You know. So, they have this every year. Then it changed. They used to have, frankly, Beverly and the Mays, people like that would come in. Then it went to like a 2-day event because jazz kind of didn't play out. So if you did not know, this year there was a melee. So let me take us down real quick. If we can just show that the back. How am I doing that? Yeah. So there was a big, they call it the Queen City because just to let you know, there are how many hills? Maybe 8 hills. So it's like Mount Auburn, Mount whatever it is. It's shaped like the Queen's crown. So that's why it's called the Queen City, because there's 7 different hills. So they call it the Queen City Brawl. So there was a big melee in Cincinnati. We're gonna play some videos, and what happened was,
Put those big bucks in the background over there.
oh yeah, that brother looking good right there. You know, I ain't lying.
Well, I got my dad bod going on, you know.
So what happened was there was a big melee where a group of blacks stomped on, beat, kicked while they was down a white guy, and maybe I think two other white guys may have been involved, but I didn't see them getting beat down like that. And there was a young lady who was beaten to a pulp. We want to discuss this. So we want to look at it and say, all right, who was right? Who was wrong? Was this justice or just wrong? Did the guys, was they justified in what they were doing, or did they take it too far? We're going to play some of the video. I not only want to play the video, I also want to look at how the news covered it.
Yes.
So the way how the news covered it. And then I want to go back and show what they did not cover.
Now, what I want to say to preface what you're doing is you broke it down how it went down. You broke down how long this festival has been going on in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you did not say is this is a black festival. This is known to be a black event. And the reason I want to bring that point up is as we get into media portrayals of everything and positioning, you have to admit there's certain portrayals of like Coachella versus these black events, how they blow things up.
Now I will say, I did get my bachelor's degree, or I'm sorry, my master's degree at the University of Cincinnati. So I am well aware of Cincinnati and some of the history that goes on there. And I do know that it's sad that during this time, there's a lot of racial tension that happens in Cincinnati. So let me help you out just so you understand a little bit of background, because we want to give the background to let you know what it's going with. Let me share this screen if I can. Any of you guys who do not understand history, shoot, man, what am I going through here? I'm struggle streaming, my brothers.
It's all good.
Streaming. Man, where's my sharing at? There we go. Goodness gracious. All right, let's share this entire screen. Let's do here. I'm going to share this. Okay. This is downtown Cincinnati. This over here, where I'm pointing at, is Kentucky. So, and if you know anything about history, Kentucky had slaves. Ohio
really?
did not have slavery. Yeah, this is the South. This is that anything down south. So,
I didn't realize that Ohio is bordering Kentucky, the state.
Yes, it borders. It's called a tri-state because it also borders Indiana. But this is Kentucky here, Ohio here. So, in order to get freedom, people used to have to cross this river. And it's not just this. It looked like a small river. It's a big river. I mean, you're not really swimming across it. And the crazy thing is, if you cross this river and got here, right here, you still not free, brother. You're not free.
Oh, the lip of it.
Really not free until you get to what is called Liberty Street.
Oh, so damn, that's convenient. Liberty Street means you're liberated.
It got its name. You had to be so far in, and you had to get to Liberty Street. And so that tells you the racial makeup of Cincinnati. At this point in time, Cincinnati is 49% black, or 49% white, 45% black. So it's almost 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
That's, so some places where you say, oh man, it's not that bad. Now, I know that we have been called this name many and plenty times, but people really don't even know the history. They call you this. Uncle Tom, baby. Uncle Tom.
Okay.
Been called the Uncle Toms, but what you don't know is the book Uncle Tom was
Oh,
written by Harriet Beecher. Let me even see if I can go over here. Let's see this.
so quick question while you're looking that up.
Uh-huh.
On the other side of that river, on the Kentucky side, is that known as like a boardwalk or a nice area where they like a river walk type of thing where they got nice restaurants and stuff like that set up?
Well,
Or is it more
here.
industrialized?
Yeah, here, all restaurants, great restaurants. One is because these bridges take you right to downtown, which is this is the stadium. So if you see that stadium right there, so
You're not sharing anymore.
Oh shit, I'm sorry, my brother. I'm looking
Okay.
at the screen and I'm looking like I'm doing what I told you, I'm struggle streaming today. Just getting back from Colombia, my friends, and you know, I'm
You just landing. You got a little jet lag still.
a little bit of jet lag, just a little bit, but we're gonna make it happen. All right. I'm giving you the history so y'all can understand what we're gonna be talking about. So on this side of Kentucky, yes. So you have restaurants, places to eat, all of that. Why? Because a lot of people party over here, cross over the bridge, and this is where they go to watch football game. This is the Bengal Stadium. This is the big baseball stadium, as you can see right there. And actually in the middle here is the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. So, you know, that's how popular that is. But to take you back a little bit, I told you, I said there is what is called Beecher Street. This is Beecher Street right here. Why would this place be called Beecher Street? Why? Because you know the woman who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, Harriet Beecher Stowe, is from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
That person who said, "Hey, Uncle Tom," yes, they had actually. I've been to the museum. They're not a museum.
That's something to be known for a town. Is known for having a whole bunch of Uncle Toms where the name was coined and a book was written.
Written. Remember, if you ever heard when I tell you how crazy things are, this is Beecher Street. This is the hood, Lincoln Avenue, all of this. If you drive, let's see, about 5 minutes where Martin Luther King turns into Madison Road. I mean, you got Martin Luther King here. When you get to Victory Parkway and you turned into Madison Road, you went from $50,000 houses to $1 million houses.
Oh shit!
In a matter of 30 seconds.
So there's a lot of white entitlement rolling around there.
Mm-hmm. If you go from the hood here and you drive down here, just down the street, like you going downtown, these apartments over here on Windsor and all of that, Ocho Cinco, when he got kicked out of the stadium because he couldn't live there anymore, this is where he lived. So within 30 seconds of the hood is Eden Park, which is a big park here. And then you have these big old condos or $1 million condos. So that's how that racial makeup is of Cincinnati. And they've had some issues going before. So I'm giving you the racial makeup to let you understand what you're dealing with in Cincinnati. There has been some conflicts a long time ago, still has some conflicts, and this may have started it and generated it. So I want you to go ahead, and then I'm going to play this first video from Fox News, and this will cover that entire part.
Now I'm gonna go off with the Blue Collar Bro said the Midwest is a hotbed for white nationalist groups. The South gets a bad rap for racism, but that was earned. But the most part, we tolerate each other because everyone has guns. You know, we have guns up north and Midwest, but you're right. There's a lot of quieted bedroom white racism. There's a good old boy network in a lot of these places. Because they are further up north, they're not as widely out there. I tell you, coming from Kansas and Missouri, I love a good redneck. As long as he can be honest about it, I can take you for face value. I don't like the closeted ones, you know. But at the end of the day, it's what, like you said, we've learned to tolerate and learned how to work around it. But yeah, I agree with you. But go ahead and play that first video.
All right. I broke it down a little bit. But just to let you know, yes, Ohio experienced some of the largest white supremacist incidents that there have been. So, and just to go a little bit further, I don't have this video, and maybe I can do this so you understand. Let's see, GE Aviation. All right. So let me tell you how crazy this is. So just to give you a little history of how racial it has been. This here is GE. Oh shit. Once again, I have not shared, my brothers, and I am sorry. I apologize. All right. Can you look something up for me while I'm doing this? If you can look up Lincoln, what is it called? Lincoln Heights, Ohio, KKK. So, all right. Lincoln Heights, Ohio was one of the first all black cities. Very industrialized, lots of money. They had so much money that they had all of this land. What was supposed to happen was General Electric came in and actually bought land in their municipality. What that would have done is that would have given Lincoln Heights a hell of a tax base. One of the biggest tax bases there were, because it's GE Aviation, which makes every jet engine you see on one of them planes, most likely built by GE Aviation. They built all the jet engines on there. But let me tell you what they did. They built this highway 75, and then they said, no, we're going to annex this and give it to another municipality.
Of course they did.
Evendale.
Of course they did.
Evendale right now is rich. Lincoln Heights is the hood. And I say that because there was a bridge here. There was a bridge, and if you had that video, that the KKK got onto the bridge in Lincoln Heights. And that was probably the worst move they did, because all the brothers in Lincoln Heights are basically carrying, and they ran them out, and then they don't come back there anymore. Let's go ahead and start this. I've talked too much. We've been 18 minutes in, and I want to get y'all as to what happened, and I want some reviews back. I did all the history so you know what you're dealing with when we get there. Oh, did you get that? Is that, what did you put in there? Neo-Nazi? You want to play that one real quick?
You can play that one. That was just basically talking about Lincoln Heights and how the majority black township starts an armed protection group.
Yeah, I'll do that in a minute.
As March of 2025.
Yep. Before I play this, I've done some slow motion, fast motion. We're going to break it up. I need to warn you, and this is not only for your warning, this is also for YouTube. This is news. This is, we are doing this as news, and we are gathering information so that we can discuss it in a newsworthy way, not to justify any type of fighting, melee, violence, or anything like that. This is newsworthy to talk about the start and how this happens and how is this justified. With that said, let me start it, and I may go with it.
Very tough to watch. I got to warn you, in Cincinnati.
So as you can see, the white guy is hit from behind, and now that starts the melee, where a few different brothers start chasing after him.
This man was beaten in the street in Cincinnati over.
So not only was he jumped by dudes, as you can see, a few ladies try to get in on it.
The weekend, the police say 5 suspects are facing charges. They're asking others to turn themselves in. Then a woman who tried to defend him also was punched and knocked out cold by a young man on the street. And as I said before, one person called 911 in this whole crowd. They're all too concerned about getting this whole thing on video so they can.
Okay.
Unbelievably vicious video. This is very tough to watch. I got to warn you. In Cincinnati.
So if I heard that, I would think, yeah, this is tough video to watch. That a group of black guys, they jumped this white guy. I cannot justify anything that they're doing.
Posted on their stupid phones.
She just says everybody wants to videotape and get it on their phones.
Right.
I don't like no sucker punch. I'm gonna say that. I don't like that. I don't like the fact. Well, before I give me any of my opinion, let's just go with what the people say. I'm just gonna play it a little bit more. Let's go with what the people say so we can say it here. I throw this down in slow motion so you can see. So that was one dude jumping. Now you got a group of
why is the chicken there?
She done jumped in. Now here's what we can always say about black chicks. I just want to see if you catch this.
Oh, she lost her weave.
Oh my God.
I saw that on the ground on the other one. I got one loaded where the weave is on the ground.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah,
look, they done snatched the weave off, man. You do it, you just look at that. Oh man. You jump into it and get your weave snatched off. I don't know who snatched the weave off, but that's what happened. We got the weave snatched off. But my thing is, how many people does it take to come after a guy? Is that justified?
Right. Now, hold on. Let me play the reverse angle. Take that one down.
Oh no, not yet, not yet. Let's do it before you get the reverse angle, because I probably know what the reverse angle shows.
In New York. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Martha. Well, we just got disturbing new video with a different angle of this vicious attack that unfolded.
So he's saying he's giving a different angle,
right?
But they really don't show the entire video, and the way they skip past it leads me to put in a lot of questions.
At 3 a.m. on Saturday in Cincinnati, it appears to show a verbal confrontation. Then you see a white.
So they really don't show anything. I'm gonna go back just a smidget, you know, because I'm gonna slow it down at the end.
Video with a different angle of this vicious attack that unfolded at 3 a.m. on Saturday in Cincinnati. It appears to show a verbal confrontation. Then you see a white man in a white shirt slap a black man in a red shirt. Punches are then thrown and the brawl ensues. The white man is punched and kicked repeatedly by black men and women. This new video also shows two other white men getting beat up. Another video shows a woman being knocked unconscious.
The one that got her weave snapped. Go if you look back at the one that had the white shorts that had her weave snapped off, how far back she was when that fight first started. To her getting her weave.
The white man is punched and kicked repeatedly by black men and women. This new video also shows two other white men getting beat up. Horrifically, another video
I don't agree with what they're doing here. Well, let me leave my opinion out.
Shows a woman being knocked unconscious, blood on her face after she was sucker punched.
This, I don't
played a significant role, characterizing it as a sudden dispute following a verbal altercation. Astoundingly, there were 100 people there, but only one person called 911. The Trump administration's Department of Justice suggesting hate crime charges could be filed. Quote, our federal hate crimes laws apply to all Americans. We at Civil Rights at DOJ will monitor closely how local authorities handle this attack.
All right. I've slowed this down, and I'm going to give y'all a little thing of what happened. This brother right here, if you see the guy in the red, so I know you may play the other angle.
Yeah.
The guy in the red, let me add this to the stage. See that guy in the red?
Mm-hmm.
The guy in the red is having a verbal altercation with this white Russian dude. They arguing. They in their own argument.
Right.
The white Russian slaps the dude in the red. Now,
I gotta say something. That's one thing you don't do it to a brother.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He
Any man,
slapped me.
period. But to a brother specifically, you don't slap no brother in no face. Like, no, don't do it. Don't spit. Don't slap.
I can understand that. And look, everything you're saying is correct. You don't put your hands on somebody. But it really was. It was a tap. You know, when you slap
Oh,
somebody,
that was a love tap from somebody you don't know. You gonna accept that?
no, it was a love. It was a love. I'm just saying it was a love tap. It was so soft of a tap.
Oh,
Soft of a tap that the brother didn't retaliate. The brother is just like, I mean, that's how it was. It was like, that's really what you did to me. Like, you just kind of just, you know, push me a little bit. And I say that to say this, because here, remember, it was, let me go back here. All right. Go back just a smidgen.
All Americans, we at Civil Rights at DOJ will monitor closely
stay
how
slow.
local authorities
Remember
handle
the
this
guy
attack.
in the red. Here's the guy in the red. He got slapped. Remember, he's the person who got hit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything.
The girl in the white shorts is standing there too.
Yeah.
With the
guy who
weed.
got hit did not do anything. Now, another guy on the side, he wants to jump in, and nobody,
Right,
the person who actually got hit didn't do it. Didn't do anything.
Right. There you go.
This dude-
Right there.
Is that justified?
No. I don't like people sneaking into a whole conversation you got nothing to do with just because you want to swing on somebody. He initiated that fight, but here's the thing, and we'll see this on the other angle I'm going to play. That brother reacted to the slap more than anything else. Because
this
slap it off
brother
behalf.
right here. This brother
Yes.
right here. Okay.
Yes.
I do not like. Yeah, nope. 101. I say
One-on-one.
1-on-1 all the time.
Uh,
This is where it becomes a problem for me, and I'm going to ask from the back. Look, I always say, if a woman can put her hands on you, you might be able to put your hands on them.
I done said it.
The problem is this woman ain't put her hands on nobody. The need to just come out of nowhere and do some things. So this is the dude. This dude right here. It's a brother. That's how crazy that is. That's how crazy that is. Not how they did her. All she was trying to do was break up the fight. Let me show you your people. Oh. Black eye, all of it. She was trying to stop. I need to understand this. Not this part. So just to let you know, a city councilwoman came out and was like, yeah, they got what they deserved. And it's the city council. And she's saying, yeah, you got what you deserve.
The whole thing is she saying that for the vote? Is she saying that for the vote?
She's saying that for the white people. The host has been muted. Did I mute myself? No.
No,
right.
You're not muted. I just muted the video.
No.
So we don't get strike on that. But
Check out these two black women.
go ahead.
She take like I thought she was taking a selfie with her.
Mm-mm.
Let's talk
Please
about
tell
it.
me she didn't do that. Please tell me she
So-
didn't do that.
Like I said, from the angle that we seen, what I don't like is how the news presented it. The news presented it as a group of outrageous black people, just jump these innocent white guys. And I say that this, well, I'm gonna let you go with yours, then I'm gonna give my conclusion at the end. So every news that I seen, it was the blacks were just outrageous. It was a racial brawl. They did more force than what was necessary to overcome what happened. So was their force justified? Meaning, if a guy slaps you a little bit, are you allowed to have overwhelming force to take them out?
Oh, that's a big word, bro. You know, I focus in on words. You said overwhelming force.
Preponderance.
Okay, so overwhelming force. But here's the thing. You can't control what a crowd is doing. You're an individual. You can't control what the mob is looking at. You can't control the mob. You might not even know the random person that jumped in on your argument. That might have nothing to do with you. Like you said, the guy that got slapped, he's sitting there like, man, please, that wasn't shit. It was the guy behind him that probably had nothing to do with the dude that winds up really initiating that whole brawl, even after the slap. Yep. So you say overwhelming, but at the end of the day, did the guy in the red initiate the fight? Or the guy in the black, based on what the reaction was of the Russian dude slapping the guy in the red? So now, let me go ahead and throw up my video real quick. I don't get to control this, so we're going to have to go through it, and then we'll go back and touch on it. So you're going to see a different angle. And on this video, the angle is going to be, the fight looks like it's about to break up.
Mm-hmm.
There was an initial conversation where they were kind of butting up against each other. There was a guy there that had separated them at first. Now, like Fearless said, the white guy or the Russian guy reached in and slapped the guy in the red. You got that angle. And then you're going to see a different angle of the guy with the black shirt swinging on him from behind. That's how I'm going to set this video up, and we're going to let it roll. And we cut off the part where he got grounded.
What I do not like is how the news portrayed it. The news did portray it as though the blacks were the aggressors. And, you know, but as we see here, the white dude was the aggressor. It was kind of over. You know, it was over. The white guy slaps him. I mean, it was a mug. You know, not justifying it's a mug.
Yeah, he smushed him a little bit. I'd say it's a smushed face.
No, now here goes the thing. One white guy surrounded by about 50 black dudes. Is it justified?
Right.
I'm gonna keep asking that question because I'm gonna bring something up at the end. Is it
justified? Video.
Yeah, is it justified for that for the white guy to get the treatment that he did for the force that he gave? And I want to hear that in the chat. So that's my question. Did the white guy get the treatment that he should have gotten based on the slap that he gave? Was that slap worth getting hit by 5-10 different people, smashed on the ground, kicked on the ground? You know, the lady trying to break it up, her getting smashed. What was that slap worth this?
Hey,
I'm just asking.
Damn. That's terrible. I mean, that's it's unfortunate, and it's not a laughable situation. It's more shocking, you know, to me, that we accelerate And from my angle, it wasn't even the guy in the red. It was a guy in all black. Two other guys standing between the guy and the black, the red shirt. But I guess the altercation came up with the red guy, and the all black guy was standing there protecting the guy in the red. However you want to look at it. But it looked like the whole conversation was over.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, like I said, if you had paid attention, the guy that actually threw the punch was some random dude behind the whole scene, just kind of strolling back and forth, waiting for an opportunity. My first things first, as a Marine and somebody that trained in martial arts, I don't start a fight I know I can't win. And I definitely don't start in a fight with a whole bunch of people standing behind me that I don't fucking know. And I ain't got no boys with me. I ain't doing it. So this sense of entitlement for a Russian guy to feel like he's comfortable enough with that type of environment inside of a black space, where I'm talking about with the Jazz Festival being a majority black promoted thing.
But here go the problem. And I'm going to contradict you on that.
Okay.
Because they bring in, let me see who was there this year. Because this kind of, let's see.
While you looking it up, I'm going to finish my rant. So here's the thing, like when you were giving us the breakdown of Cincinnati and how the lines were in Liberty Line and Bleecker Street and all these other things, you said it went from X amount of dollars to over $1 million off of one street.
Mm-hmm.
These same guys are in these entitled areas. Maybe they're in the same restaurant area or restaurant row. The Jazz Festival just lets out. Guys are having a good time from the Jazz Festival. They're coming into the same bars as these guys that are entitled come to every week, most likely, and frequent. They feel like they're being invaded. So then here comes the entitlement. Y'all just visiting. We actually come to these places all the time. This is our house. You don't have no right here. They can say whatever they want. They feel like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this other video. Here's a whole random ass.
Before you go on,
I'm setting this up so you can see what I mean by the entitlement. Here's another random white guy. It didn't get into the violence part, but it got into the N-word being thrown out a lot. Nobody reacted to it to where they started throwing punches. This 62-year-old man. So here we go. I don't need to play the whole thing, but you saw the sense of money and the one random white guy is just looking to start a fight that might be drunk off his ass and doesn't like the fact that there's an invasion in their area of all these jazz festival goers. It only happens third time a year, but damn, he's sick.
Let me tell you, here go the problem. Downtown was always black. They even got songs about it called Down the Way. Called Down the Way.
Idle people.
Hold up. So here's the thing. One issue was, all right, I gotta give you a little history. So let me tell you who was there this year. This year we had on Thursday, Scarface, Goldie Mob, Sugar Hill Gang, Young MC. They was on Thursday. Friday they had Earth, Wind, and Fire, Anthony Hamilton, the Zap Band. You know, Saturday they had LL, Tony Braxton, Frankie Beverly.
I'm sorry. Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is called the Cincinnati Jazz Festival.
Music Festival now. It's been called the Music Festival. But go ahead.
Okay, because the premise on jazz is like y'all lost it right off the bat on the first night. That's all right. Yeah,
they had it where Sunday would be more of the jazz and laid back. So now they just started a little different. I say that to say this. when there was a time when they were losing money. And so what they wanted to do was say, well, we want to make this all inclusive, because here's what would happen. I know when you say all these white people, the restaurants would close. The restaurants downtown, they would close.
Bars too.
Bars too. And so the people were saying, oh, that's racist, man. You know, a black comes to town and y'all close all the restaurants. And they were like, because there's problems. So what they started doing was saying, all right, we'll open them up so we can have patrons. And not only are we going to have patrons, we want to bring the white folks in too. So it's just not black people. No, because this is what.
And do you think that's conducive?
Here's what was happening. What was happening was the local people wouldn't do it. The only people who were really eating at the restaurants were people who were coming from out of town.
Mm.
They would come down and they would, because they're like, well, I'm downtown. Downtown should be open. Where can I eat? They weren't making money. So you got to figure the business was like, this isn't helping me. Y'all Jazz Festival is here, but it isn't economically feasible for me because there's just too much drama. So they said, how can we make this more economically feasible? We want to make it more all-inclusive. Because because the black people wasn't spending no money, not the people that were native there. And I will agree that people who came from Detroit, because I'm gonna tell you, Detroit came to play. They weren't playing. I seen chicks have green hair on Friday with green nails and a green dress and switch it on Saturday to a whole nother color. They do something different in Detroit. They play different, but they could do all of that, and they needed the income, you know. And so they said, all right, we want to have the restaurants. We want to be able to cater to the people. We want to do that. And the people who are doing this don't even go to the Jazz Festival. The people who hanging out, they don't even go to the Jazz Festival. They're not patronizing. They just hanging out afterwards, like the after party. You know, they parking lot pimping.
Right.
So the white folks, you know, I will say that the downtown has been gentrified. Yes, it has. Because they changed it over. It used to be a place that you couldn't go. And there was even if you remember the movie that had LL Cool J in it, he was called himself God in it. I forgot the name of the movie. It was shot down there. Let's see. LL Cool J played God. God in what movie? In Too Deep. Shot in Cincinnati. In Too Deep, where they called him, his nickname was God. Shot right down there in one of the roughest parts. Yep, In Too Deep. So it had a history that downtown you couldn't go to. They gentrified it. They started bringing it in because for a city, you can't have a large stadium where you got the Cincinnati Reds Stadium, the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium down there, and then you got crime that happens right there, and you got shootings that happen right there. So it got gentrified. The people who are hanging out, they don't go to those places. They just looking for something to do. So you're saying when you say this isn't your area, that's kind of offensive, why isn't the white person's area?
Come on. Man, come on. We know about redlining. We know about the history. You just broke down Uncle Tom's Cabin. You know the historical features of that environment. Doesn't matter we're in 2025, bro. When you're coming from those type of environments, it's ingrained in the whole culture of the city. It don't just end because it's 2025. People still come with that sense of entitlement. You just said the river between Kentucky and Ohio is right there. Racism's right across the river. There's a whole historical fact of people swimming over that river just to get freedom past Liberty Street. You know, ran it all down to us. Do you think I live in Kansas City, Kansas, bro? Okay. I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. I know the difference. We have a river too that splits the city between Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas. There's whole history behind that too. We talked about this offline, but there's a whole good old boys network that'll never let you live that shit down.
No,
You know,
the new people that come in,
they're not going to be in your face races. They closeted races. I talked about how I like a good old redneck. I'll tell you straight up, I'm racist. Okay, I know how to deal with you. The closeted ones are the ones you got to worry about. The ones that feel like they're entitled because they didn't spend their tax dollars. They're living in $2 million mansions, and here you are, poor, right across the street from them, living in barely a $30,000 or $40,000 development property. And maybe
is that the white people's fault? Is that the white people's fault?
No, it's not.
Okay. So
again,
hold up. Let's talk about this because let's get a little deeper. One of the issues that we have is this, and I talked to this white guy who wanted me to come work for him. We went out to Applebee's one time. This is way back, and he was saying, "Oh, blacks got the business, blacks got this, blacks got that." And I said, "Well, I tell you what, let's look around this restaurant." I said, "You feel comfortable?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm the only black here. Would you go to a restaurant where you was the only white dude?" And he was like, "Huh? Probably not." I said, "That's the difference. As a black, I've patronized it. Whites, you don't." I say that to say this. Now we want the whites to patronize and come into the business. And this is what you're saying they not allowed. You're basically saying stay in your own area.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. The sense of entitlement needs to go because of how much money they spent for their property, even though they're in mutual grounds where both parties be able to be welcome. You still have that like, oh my God, here comes the noisy, rowdy crowd type of mentality of the ones that are there. You're not going to get that out of them just because it's one night a week or 3 nights out of a year that this situation happens for the Jazz Festival. You're not going to get that out of them just because of those 3 nights. Now, I'm putting it on the YT people. If you know that type of environment's coming, why are you in town that night?
Well, maybe they live there and still go to those places. Maybe they live there.
3 days you did not have to go. You made a choice.
You're saying as a white dude but let me tell you the sad thing is this only happens during the music festival.
Again, if you know that and you come from that city, why would you proliferate that issue by
the blacks are only rowdy when they feel they can take over the city during that time?
But are you now saying it's not a media portrayal problem? Because white people are causing the problems too. That Russian guy chose to slap the dude after they were broken apart.
Well, so now black people. The news did not cover that. The news did not show what initiated it. See, now I will say the news skipped that. If you look at all the news I said, the news went skip that black dude hitting from the back. It's a bias. And we talked about that last week, where there's a bias in the media. And I wanted to show that bias where they don't show they show the reaction.
Mm-hmm. But here's the other thing. You said this happens every year. Listen. You said this happens every year. And I'm going to pull this up. It's only a short clip. And the clip is of the 911 call. The 911 receiver, the call person that's answering the call at the desk, is not even thinking like it's a big deal. She's asking, do you think we need to send police? If you know, as a police officer, this situation happens every goddamn year. Year after year. This has been going on since the 60s. Hold on, let me play this. I'm going to shut up.
4th and L, please.
Okay, can you repeat the address?
4th and L.
Tell me exactly what happened.
There's so much people acting crazy.
There's what's going on?
A few fights here and there. Let's put it this way. Some people just acting crazy. Yeah.
So there's just people fighting outside. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
How many people are involved?
At this point, everybody's spraying out. So it was before, but by 20, 30 people. But everybody's obviously.
But everybody's what?
Everybody's walking away at this point.
So you keep saying they left. Do you need police to respond out?
I would prefer, yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay,
All
I
right.
need to get the person's description. Do you have description?
Bruh.
No, hold
Come
up. No, here go the thing. No, you can't blame. You blaming the 911 operator, or you blaming the dude who calling in? Because the dude who calling in.
No, wait. When a guy calls 911, he's saying, "Hey, y'all might need to pay attention to what's going on down here. Listen, there's 20 to 30 people
All
down
right,
here.
let me show you this.
There's
Hold up. Hold up.
literally,
Look, this is where the Jazz Festival is at.
you making
Inside
excuses.
the stadium, right? There are 20 to 30 people on every corner over here. This whole area is 20 to 30 people because in the stadium you got 100. Hold on, in the stadium you got 100,000 people.
I get that.
So when they come out, they got Elm Street. They on all of these streets. So when they're just like, oh, there's people hanging out, and there's 20 to 30 people.
They were fighting. 20
Do
or
you know
30.
how many calls they get about some type of disturbance? People they arguing, they racing cars, they throwing bottles. That's what it is. There was no sense of urgency. You can't blame that 911 operator.
The insensitivity to the threat of danger that the police department has that you're making an excuse for.
No, what you're saying is that's one 911 call. What I would like to hear is other
You want to hear from the police chief?
I want to hear what.
Chief next.
Oh yeah, let's hear what the police chief said because she said ain't
Hold on.
nobody even call.
How would anybody else call at that point?
Oh, hold up. when there's something that happens, when there's everybody picking up the phone, am I right?
Let's play the video. Her non-lackadaisical ass. Hold on.
In the viral video released early Saturday morning was not only disturbing, it was outright cruel. It was an act of violence that shook us all. Had the Cincinnati Police Department been notified in real time, our officers would have responded with.
I'm stopping it right there because that's all I need to play. Had our officers been notified in real time, we would have immediately responded.
Yes.
Did she lie?
No, that's the truth.
They didn't respond because somebody did call. I don't care if it was 1 or 30. One person called and it
here's
should have
the
been
thing, man.
responded.
What you understanding is how many 911 calls happened during that time. When the operator gets it, she has to list it and say, what is the urgency of this? If somebody just called, oh, they not there and they dispersing.
But she's saying nobody called.
There's probably 100 911 calls during the time.
They didn't say that. They didn't say we had an overwhelming amount of calls about the level or threat of violence in that area. She didn't say that during the press release.
Listen to the dude. If somebody called 911, yeah, there's people on the horn. He sound like he half drunk. He sound like it's no urgency. So if you're a person,
you get to decide as a 911 operator the threat level or urgency level of every call.
Yes. If somebody says, when they put it into their MDT, somebody says, man, there's a shooting here and there's a dude laying on the ground, or look like there was a fight, something happened. Which one do you want them to go to first?
The threat level should be for the one that's hurt.
For the one
but they didn't say that. But for the one that's hurt, if there was a call, the escalation.
In that thing where he said somebody was hurt. Play the 911. Play it again.
All right. Hold on. Let me get the right video.
4th and Elm, please.
Okay, can you repeat the address?
4th and Elm.
Tell me exactly what happened.
There's so much people at the place.
There's what's going on?
A few fights here and there. Let's put it this way. Some people just acting straight. Yeah.
So there's just people fighting outside, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
How many people are involved?
At this point, everybody's spreading out. So it was at before, but 20, 30 people, but everybody's
But everybody's what?
Stop.
No,
He said, wait. She cleared it up and said, so there's people fighting out front. He goes, yes. And he goes, how many? Well, they're kind of breaking up right now, but it was up to, should I at least dispatch an ambulance? Is somebody down? She didn't ask any of that.
You don't do that. That doesn't happen. Because someone, look, I'm telling you because I know, and you know how I know. That's not how it happens. You get 100 calls with that saying there's some loud noise. There's this going on. There's a whole bunch of people outside. That doesn't mean anything, because what you would think is if there was something serious that more than one person would call. That's how it is. And then you would say, oh, if there's a fight, somebody got shot, you hear multiple calls.
The fact that you said every year there's major issues that were going on, and the reason why even
what you just said
closed down, while the restaurants had closed down, because there's always fights and everything were breaking out. So there's a known history during this jazz festival or music festival now of violence. So for an operator to know this history and then downplay it the way she did, like, yo, this could be
downplaying it.
She did downplay it. They didn't dispatch anything, and that's confirmed by the police chief, who said, had we been notified, we would have escalated this because we know there's a known problem in that area during these festivals. So she outright lying, or the operator didn't take it seriously?
So I'm just reading this. Cincinnati police reported a 25% increase in calls. So they don't know if you're getting a 25% increase in your 911 calls
in a known violent area during a known violent concert.
Here's the thing: they already have all the officers that are down there. They have what they call special. I forgot the name of it, where they bring people down there. So you're gonna work overtime, and they're in certain areas. You can't be.
And they're probably backstage.
Here's the thing: what you don't understand is
they're not out on those.
Most of the time, police are not proactive. You always reactive. You're not there when somebody gets shot. They there when after the shot and the dude done ran away. It's gonna be rare that you're gonna be like, I'm here and I see them shoot.
Those special units were around the actual stars and the celebrities. They didn't care about the general populace.
They don't go around the stars and the celebrities, man. What do you think, they just hanging out with them?
They're working the security area.
You're right. They're in the off-duty detail.
I have, man, my boy, his brother worked for LAPD. He was part of that whole situation. And yes, they stay closer to the celebrities and the ones that have the money. They don't give a fuck about the general population.
That's not how. Look. Let me show this to you, brother. The celebrities have their own security. They're not.
Dude, man, he ain't gonna take on no whole freaking crowd. One dude is not gonna watch over a whole crowd. But I guarantee you, if something happened, even with the security, that celebrity can bring a lawsuit against the whole city for their actions or inability to protect them.
Brother, you just know.
Okay, you think I'm playing?
Here's the thing: the celebrities are here. The celebrities don't leave the stadium. They not. And
that's why the cops were not around, because they were hanging around right around where all the celebrities leave. Because it was longer than that. But let's finish listening to her little excuse.
All right, let's hear it.
In the viral video released early Saturday morning was not only disturbing, it was outright. Had the Cincinnati Police Department been notified in real time, our officers would have our community, because silence in moments like this can be dangerous. As of today, our investigative teams have identified 6 victims, 5 to unimaginable physical violence. CPD has now charged 6 individuals with felonious assault and aggravated rioting. Of those, 3 have been arrested and their names have been released to the public. Our fugitive apprehension unit is actively pursuing the remaining 3.
And currently, too many Cincinnatians don't feel safe. All of us especially me, are clear-eyed and working urgently to fix that. We have to make the city safer right now. The racial dynamics of this fight are unavoidable, and some have cynically used the opportunity to try and divide us along racial lines. That is a choice we must firmly reject.
Let me ask you, if the guy would have called 911 on the initial hit, do you still think that could the police have done anything?
I mean, that's so speculative at this point.
How long?
We're talking about hindsight being 2020. What I'm saying is,
even if they called it the exact moment it was initial hit.
What I'm saying is, from these press releases, from these press interviews and these meetings, she's acting like they would have escalated with the appropriate amount of force. Now you're saying for so many years, this one festival, whether you want to call it jazz or music or whatever, has been known to have such a violent nature that restaurants have closed and were encouraged to start reopening here in the last few years. But they didn't want all the rioting, and they didn't want all the fights to come into their restaurants and destroy their businesses. So they started closing them. So there's a known history. The chief is even confirming there's a known history of violence. They're confirming at least 6 people were downed, men and 1 woman. And the brutality of all these individual little fights. You would think during a parade or anything major like that, they would have police stationed in certain areas to respond quicker in situations where you know there's a known violent region or area during a festival. You would already have police staged and ready to go because
they
you
had
already
that already. Hold up.
Obviously, they did. Nobody responded.
That already
show me a news report where you see flashing blue and red lights and people being apprehended because they were acting crazy during the Jazz Festival.
All right. And then I can set you up with that. All right,
maybe. Depends on how quickly they responded to the violence.
You can't respond.
But you just asked me, do you think if he called 911, they would immediately respond? You just asked me the same question.
No, I'm saying because it couldn't happen. I don't care if the guy called when the first hit. You're saying it's like the police are supposed to be right there. That does never happen.
Prevention. And if they know there's an issue and the mayor...
They are stationed there, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Apologetic. And they had it under control. They obviously did not.
Because you know how many 911 or how many fights.
It doesn't matter. You know that there's a known history of fights for that.
All right, look, man. No matter, maybe I can't understand how you don't understand this.
I know.
You have a limited. Hold up. You have a limited. Listen. You got a limited number of police. Say you got 800. You can't take 800 police and put them in one area. That's because you still have 5 different districts.
Numbers.
So you still have to cover your districts. The people there, they take who are working special detail and come down there. And what you do is you place people in the places that have been known to cause problems, which is immediately outside the stadium, right around the stadium, and then other small places outside. When something happens, you rely on it. If somebody gets shot in the alley and somebody says, "Hey, I heard a noise," do you expect all the police to come to there? No, because it's like, well, I heard a noise that sounded like a gunshot that could have been. No matter what, you're not going to get 10 police to come to that area because it's like, well, somebody might have heard something and I got to go to where I see it, the stuff at. So that's never going to happen. You don't have enough people you don't have enough police to cover that type of area, no matter where you at. So that is never going to happen like that.
All right, just so I can give you some premise behind what you said. Cincinnati Police Department has over 1,053 sworn officers, and Hamilton County Sheriff's Office has about 900 deputies. You're talking about a force of at least close to 2,000 police officers.
Incorrect. So let me help you out. There's a division. You have the city of Cincinnati. You have Hamilton County.
Right.
The county does not operate inside of the city. Doesn't happen.
They can. They absolutely can.
They have an agreement. The county does not operate inside of the city. They only operate outside of the city limits in Hamilton County. The only thing that operates inside of the city is the Hamilton County Jail. That's it. You can look it up. I live there. I know exactly what happens, brother. They used to not even be able to do special duty. And I think that just changed. And so when you look that up, go ahead and tell me what it says. I mean, I can give you the exact wording if you want.
Here. No. What I asked was, can the sheriff's department respond to special situations in law enforcement, such as concerts? Yes, the sheriff department can and often do respond to special situations like concerts, festivals, protests, and large public events, especially when the event occurs within county jurisdiction or overlaps municipal jurisdictions. Overwhelming city police resources, meaning the police resources are overwhelmed, they can respond in assistance to the police department. So there are cases, especially when there are known violent areas like this concert, that could have prearranged the sheriff department to lend assistance within the jurisdiction of the city limits to help out. They did not.
They don't do that. Let me tell you why.
They could, but they don't.
They don't. And you know, I'm going to tell you why.
And that's an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. This
Okay.
I'm letting you know what you're going to tell me. I hate when somebody try to tell me and I live there.
It doesn't matter what
The reason it doesn't. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
It's all protecting the city.
Why? It becomes a conflict of money. The reason is, in order for you to get a special duty when you inside of the city limits, so if Walmart wants an officer or this club wants an officer, the city wants to make sure that their officers get that money. They don't want to share that money with any outside district, because you could say, well, I'm from another suburb and I want to work.
I understand logistics and money and county ordinances. I understand
they
all.
have an agreement.
So I agree. They stop their citizens from being protected. That's basically all you're doing, is making an excuse that the city chooses to be greedy and keep their officers with the money instead of splitting it to where they can protect the actual people they serve better.
It's not even that. They don't even communicate on the same radio. So if I was here and I'm a Hamilton County sheriff and something happened and it was Cincinnati, I would never know it. They don't communicate. It would just be like, it would be a safety issue. They don't communicate like that. The sheriff wants to run his thing, and that's how it usually is.
I'm agree to disagree. We can move on though.
All right. So I want to ask the crowd or our audience, if anybody's watching.
Hold on. Let's see if Black Man Travels has some input on our argument and any level of comments that he's heard from right now.
I mean, personally, the fight itself, I still have not seen that video. I've heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother, we'll play it right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen the video to comment.
What angle are you playing? Your angle or mine?
No, I'm playing the news angle. Just the news. So here you go.
This video, this is very tough to watch. I got to warn you. In Cincinnati. This man was beaten in the street in Cincinnati over the weekend. The police say 5 suspects are facing charges. They're asking others to turn themselves in. Then a woman who tried to defend him also was punched and knocked out cold by a young man on the street. And as I said before, one person called 911 in this whole crowd. They're all too concerned about getting this whole thing on video so they can post it on their stupid phones.
That's your personal opinion.
That is her personal opinion. So this was, and so what we're talking about, Black Man Travels, is if you heard what the news person said, she basically, and what they show, and just from the beginning, I'm just going to go from the beginning. just from what the news shows. So this is the news. We get the first
Unbelievably
5 seconds.
vicious video. This is very tough
The
to watch.
vicious
I gotta
part
warn you.
kills me right off the
In
bat.
Cincinnati.
So what's the first thing you see?
I'm curious to see. Well, I'm curious to know what happened before that.
That's what we're talking about. The first thing you see is that black dude hit that white dude.
So again, negative media perception of black people when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, but
And so Ronin, if you show what precipitated that the
I'll
media
show you.
did not show.
This angle is right here. We're gonna play Okay. So it was initially broken up. And then the YT guy, the Russian guy, decides that he wants to go ahead and reinitiate with the little face smush / slap. That's the other end.
So when you see the white Russian slap the black dude, the black dude doesn't react. The black dude doesn't hit him. It's somebody that comes from behind. When you see that sucker punch, it was somebody who was not involved in the fight at all, actually hit the Russian dude. And then they bum rush the Russian guy. And, they kick him when he's down. They do things like that. And then we showed the video. This is what they did to one lady who was not involved, where a dude hit her and did, that damage to her. So the question is, and this is to the audience, white guy did hit the black guy. Was the beating that he got justifiable? Was it justice or just wrong?
First, I'm gonna talk about the guy that initiated the first hit. Yeah, he had every right to get his ass beat the way he did, but once he surrendered on the ground, that's it. Stop. Now, for the women coming to assist as far as helping, trying to stop the situation, she didn't deserve that at all, man. That's uncalled for. That right there is just a pack of hyenas taking advantage of an opportunity. So there's no excuse for that, and charges should be applied to those people that were involved.
So I'd like to hear the opinion of the chat, and then I'd like to hear your opinion, Ronin, on what you see. And then I'm going to give part of my opinion.
Right. So again, I'm going back to the level of response that law enforcement should have already been prepared for. Based on your own admission, based on the fact that there's a known history of violence that happens during these festivals every year, didn't matter white, black, or indifferent. I'm going back to where the sheriff's department had not been involved, but the police department said they were ready to go and everything else. Had they been notified, they would have immediately responded with the appropriate amount of force and all these other things. I'm going to go back to the legal and operational basis between the sheriff's department and the police department, because you said that they can't infringe.
Oh man, hold up.
No. You asked me. Let me finish my point.
I'm not. I just see Drew about to hit my.
Let me get to this point. Okay, the sheriffs are elected county officials and have full law enforcement powers throughout the county, including inside city limits. They can intervene anywhere in the county if public safety demands it, or if it's requested by the city police. Now, we've discussed that, right? So does Hamilton has jurisdiction over unincorporated areas of the city. Okay, mutual aid agreements. Most major events, including concerts like Cincinnati's Jazz Festival specifically, are covered by a mutual aid and interagency cooperative plan, meaning the CPD may request the Sheriff's Department's assistance. The sheriff department can provide extra deputies for crowd control, K9, mounted patrol, traffic management, and emergency response teams. Okay. And also the other agency that has not been discussed is the Ohio State Highway Patrol can actually lend to this as well. So if the city sheriff or the city police chief knew that this is a historical issue, repeatedly every year on the year, there are major issues in crime, assault, and other things going on during this festival. And she did not ask if there were available officers within the sheriff's department that could either do mounted police, K9, or some type of assisted crowd control. I put whether the fight happened, whether whatever, the prevention is the biggest part of this. Had the sheriff's department been on staff and asked for assistance, there would have been extra law enforcement presence in those areas. And I think it would have kept it down a hell of a lot more. Point blank, period.
It doesn't matter. People, no matter what, it doesn't. Look, unless the police are, and I can't even say this, I would say unless the police were standing right there, it doesn't happen. But I've seen it where the police are standing right there and it still happens. So there's nothing you can have. So here's what you have to do. You can have police everywhere. The problem before was this is your black people. The police only come out like this when it's a black event. That's what they say. When it's a white event, they don't do this because they were getting mad.
Oh, in a white event, they do show up. Or there's plenty of police presence.
Usually there doesn't have to be because you don't see this at white events.
The whole thing is the event coordinators probably requested from the city, prearrange it and make sure it all happens. So it does go.
I'll tell you another time when the and this happens at bars. When the Pittsburgh Steelers come into town, there's fights everywhere, but they just one-offs. And the police can't be there for them one-off bar fights, man. It's just too much that goes on for the police to be everywhere for a one-off fight. They at the stadium, they walking around there. That's all they can be. But around there, man, look, they want it. The Steelers and the Ravens come in, they just fight, and the Browns. But usually the Steelers, they throw them little towels everywhere, and it just becomes a melee. It become a melee in the stadium, and you can't stop all that. That's just how it is.
I agree with you. I never said that you could stop a random fight. Like I said, the guy that actually swung on the Russian guy probably had nothing to do with the three guys he initially started the argument with before he smushed the guy in the red face. The whole thing is the guy behind him didn't know the premise. He just saw a white guy smushing a black guy in the face and said, "Hey, I want to get out some animosity," and went ahead and swung and started the whole fight. But hold on, let me read this real quick. Darnell paid this a while ago. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Darnell. We appreciate your contribution to the show, always in support of the show. He says, "I like Texas races better. They let you know. Like I said, I'd rather let them let me know. They just want to be left alone. It's a liberal race. It's the liberal races I can't stand. I'm not a racist because I vote Democrat. They are the worst." So yeah, you got the closeted racists that will say I'm not a racist, but they are. And they use that, "Oh, well, I'm a Democrat. If I was a racist, I wouldn't be voting Democrat, voting Republican." And then he's got to follow up with this other $10 super chat. Thank you again, Darnell. He goes, "I agree with Black Man Travels. If you're going to assault someone, be prepared for the consequences. But if he or she is on the ground, no longer a threat, you need to stop or risk being charged." I agree. And I said that before Black Man Travels came in. Knowing what I know, I would never start a fight in a public area where my back wasn't being watched by other people with me. That's just not a smart move altogether.
I think sometimes people just need to learn to stop. Like once you got the win, that's it. There's no need to keep on going because that's overkill. Now you have charges. Now you have police looking for you.
I'm glad you said that, Black Man Travels, because this is what I wanted to really get into. We don't talk about the little hats. I want to talk about this. David says, "Oh, there's no rules in a street fight. Keep your hands to the fact yourself." And he said, "It's justice. You know, that's justice." The reason I asked that question is, at what time does it start? Drew, if you knew the conversation I had before this,
Yes.
I'd get into it.
Yes, that's the spin on this whole conversation. We're about to get to it. So good looking out, Drew. You must have fucking clairvoyancy or some shit.
If you have a group of people who are outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned, and they slap you, because that's really what it was. It was a mush.
Yeah, he mushed him.
And the response to that mush is to beat you to a pulp, beat you while you down, beat innocent people who have nothing to do with it. Is that fair? And if you think, as my man David said, you keep going, do you think it's fair then for Israel to say, well, you started it? You know, you killed 800, so we can kill 800,000. Is that proportionally right? And but yeah, that's where I was born, but I got my master's degree at the University of Cincinnati. So just so you know, I was all over that area. Cleveland, Akron. I think I beat LeBron before he was a star, baby. You know, he's a little younger than me. I probably slapped that ball out of his hand a few times up in Akron, just to let y'all know.
Okay. All 5'11" of you.
Hey, he was 5'11" at one time in his life. So the question being, if you think that this was right, what the black guys did to this white man, because that's what they're saying. Oh, it's justified. He shouldn't have put his hand on him, and he got what he deserved. And a person who is in city council actually said they got what they deserved.
But here's the big thing, and I gotta defend. Unfortunately, I gotta defend how the situation came up. The white guy, regardless of whether he watched his back or not, it had his boys with him. He had a verbal confrontation with 3 guys. The 3 guys he was facing. It's always the random dude that don't know what the fuck is going on, don't know none of the story, that starts all the chaos. Okay. Again, that's why you don't start a fight without knowing who you're dealing with and your surroundings. But at the end of the day, David, the guy that actually started the fight, aside for the mush of the white guy to the guy in the red shirt, was a guy that had nothing to do with anything. And that started the chaos. And then everybody else, as you know, when you're in a fight on the street, everybody wants to get their kicks or their punches in when you're at disadvantage, but they would never be the one to throw the initial punch to your face. I don't like those kind of fights. I think they're chicken hearted. I think they're fucking, I think they're just straight outright bastards for doing something like that. You're not an honorable fighter. There's no honor in fights in itself. But if you can't square up with me face on face, you're bitch ass.
And then what I really hate is you a woman and you don't want a man to hit you, but you take an opportunity to try to kick a guy when he down. Now, if that guy did that to you or snatched you, you would say how wrong that was, how a man shouldn't do it. And they wait until the person is down. Look, I can't now. So I'm on two parts of this, guys. I'm on 2 parts. The first part is the person who actually got slapped didn't even do the fighting.
Exactly.
You said shouldn't happen. The white guy should not have initiated it. If the white guy initiated and another guy beat him up, I'm down with that. So that's my rule on that.
You're down with the random guy swinging, not the guy that was assaulted.
I'm down with the guy who would have gotten assaulted, swing back.
Okay. So,
what I am not, and I violently disagree with, and I hate, and it just burns me, is how the news covered it. Because the news didn't show, they had footage of the initial part and didn't show the initial part. And you had that white lady that comes on Fox and says how brutal this was. And a black guy, or a guy of color thereafter, says in a brief note, the white guy swung on him first. But he said that so quickly and then moved on to something else. You cannot portray the blacks as being violent and all of this without showing what initiated it. You throw rocks and then hide your hands. And the same thing has happened across the sea. And that's what hated with me, how the news coverage it. Oh, these guys, they started this fight and they're being brutal to Israel and they have bombs. But you never talk about what led up to it. Never. And so that's how the news always says that, oh, you know, now it's crazy to me that they can talk about Israel defending themselves overwhelmingly and there's no problem. Blacks do it and it's a problem.
Right.
So the news is so biased that if I was a white person from the outside, I would feel scared because look at this. I'm looking at all these guys jumping. This one guy they done beat this girl. They did all of these things. Man, that's just crazy. These guys are violent. I wouldn't go down there. But if you don't talk about what started it, that's not the news. Now you're being biased about it. And that's what irks me about that news.
By the way, thank you, the blue collar bro, for saying Boondock Ninja moment. Guess what I have on soundbite? Oh, I thought I could play it. What happened? Oh, well, I can't play it.
He got an Uncle Ruckus moment, I guess.
I am. Anyway, there it is.
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment.
I don't know if you heard that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I think most people don't really want to get in a fight. They'll talk a lot of shit, but when it comes to it, they don't want to get into a fight. And I think that's the reason why the black guy didn't react. He got mushed, but he never partake in the whole jump. You saw other people jumping into the situation. So I try to avoid a situation like that. You know, if you're gonna get in someone's face, try to end it as soon as possible. All this back and forth talking, it's a waste of time and energy, man. Once you know this person's a threat, take care of it or walk away. That's it.
But they showed one where, can you show the old guy? Can you show the
62-year-old guy that was talking shit? So to T-Mac's point, there were other white people that were talking trash. And yes, there was. And here's to your point.
He's 62! 62 years old!
And so here's the thing. I've been in that situation. And I don't know, I do not know if the Russian was drunk or something like that. And when it's somebody just drunk and they talking, I'm just like, man, what I'm thinking to myself, what benefit am I gonna get? He drunk, he just talking smack. You know, I'm gonna jack him up. Because then it becomes, you know what, you really ain't hurt me. And that's probably, and I'm not saying that's what the black guy who got mushed said, because I don't know if the Russian was drunk, but he was probably like, really? Like, that's it? Really? Like, oh man, come on. Like, really? And it just becomes a point where it's like, you know, it's not about not wanting to fight. It's just like, man, I'm not going to get my shoes dirty over this. Because if I was that guy and that big 62-year-old was walking toward me, I just walk away, man. I'm like, you got me. What am I going to prove? It's just like when you say, what am I going to prove with this? If I win, I'm bad. If I lose, it's bad. There's nothing to prove.
I pay attention to my environment. Let me put this. How many people did you see on the street? That festival is known to have tens of thousands of people on the street or in that arena at any given time within those 3 to 4 days. White people look like specks in the middle of a crowd of black people. I'm like thinking to myself, the audacity that you feel so entitled that you could do and say whatever the hell you want in a crowd, a sea of people that are not your people, and get away with it. That's crazy to me. That's the definition of insanity. That you feel so entitled that you can say whatever the hell you want in a sea of people that are not your people and expect nothing in return of whatever your comment's going to be. FAFO, you're going to fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read this $5 super chat from my brother David Dice. He said, if someone hits me, you can tell them out to reach in the situation. Wait. If someone hits me, you can't tell them out to or not to react.
I think how to react.
How to react in a situation, especially when a man, Khabib versus Conor, all over again. I'm missing the Khabib thing. Did Conor? I think Conor hit Khabib after the bell rang or something like that. If that's what your reference point is, I agree with you. You're supposed to protect yourself at all times.
Then, David, let me put countries. If a country attacks you, can you tell them how to react to that situation?
The UN's supposed to be able to. NATO's supposed
I'm just
to.
asking. So, David, if someone, if there was a country or there was a place by the name of Hamas, if they attack the country, can we tell them how to react? I'm just wondering. Curious. So I always wonder if there's a proportional response.
I mean, it's never proportional when you're in a group setting. Mob mentality comes in, and that's why I always say mob mentality. Matter of fact, I was about to say one of my group questions in the panel was going to be, hold on, let me get back to it.
Like black man tired, black man travel tired. He tired. They're yawning. Don't worry, brother. We ain't gonna keep you on too long. I think we're gonna wrap up in at least the next 25 minutes. So I'm not gonna stay on that long.
The biggest question I was gonna ask: have you ever been, you guys, and I can tell you my story. Have you ever been in a situation where you're at either a festival or some kind of black cultural festival or event where something broke out?
Oh yeah, I get away because one, I don't want to be part of the bullet. Ain't got no name on it, and then I don't want to be mistaken. I can just because they be like, we're gonna take the big dude out, and I'm just mistaken for somebody that don't even know. So I want to make sure that I'm not looking around because I've seen it where guys who are just the watchers that have nothing to do with. They just watching, and all of a sudden they get hit.
They get hit.
They get beat up, and they're like. I'm not even on either side. So I've seen it and I've tried to get away a little bit because I just don't want to be mistaken for the wrong person at the wrong time. I look like somebody or I've seen this. When that breaks out, just say you at the club and you just dancing, you're not with the fight. But that one person, like you said, who just didn't like you, that you didn't even know. You looked at this girl. You didn't know that was his girl. You was dancing with his girl. Now he trying to get his get back. And he can get his get back on a sneak. And you don't know where it's coming from. You
don't know where or what direction. My story is Budweiser Superfest. In LA. Had a little honey with me, a little Mexican chick. Went to Budweiser Superfest. LL, all them on the stage performing. You know how we do. We get ready to leave. and this is downtown LA at the LA Coliseum. Fight breaks out as everybody's departing. And if you know anything about the Coliseum, it's fenced in. So you got to go through these little gates to get out of the main Coliseum area. Fight breaks out. People start pushing and rushing. So then it starts to become a funnel. People getting pushed up against the fence because they can't get to the exit area because it's just a fence, like a doorway. I grab my girl and I'm pushing people left and right to get out the door because, again, people panic. It starts off as a fight, and this is in LA. Everybody's running because then somebody says, there's a gun. Whether there is one or not, somebody's going to antagonize the fucking crowd. That's the crowd mentality I've seen. Same Budweiser Superfest in Kansas City, Kemper Arena, way before then. This is when they used to have the floor open so people could dance during the show. This is before then. Floor is packed, people dancing. And in Missouri, if you don't know, you step on a shoe, that's a whole nother fucking fight. So next thing you know, 3 fights break out on the floor, and you can actually see them because we were sitting up high looking down. I was not even about to go on that floor with my girl. Fight breaks out here, there, and the other place, and you see a group of dudes that start busting out and brawling. Next thing you know, one dude breaks away, and there's a trail like a snake running up and into the stadium and out the door, and there's a trail of dudes running up behind him. I've seen it way too many times. I've been in them. Crowd mentality to me, mob mentality, it makes no sense. The best thing you can do is, like Fearless said, is get the fuck up out of there as fast as possible. Don't hang around. Don't be a looky-loo. Don't break out your camera trying to get you some fucking content for your YouTube channel, your IG or whatever. Get up out of there. I'm trying to tell you. Real talk. What about you, Black Man?
Yeah, I was thinking about one. I actually had one that happened while I was in South Africa.
Wow.
I was in Johannesburg. I was in the VIP area, brought some bottles, some beer. I had a lot to drink, so I was taking a lot of pictures with girls. I didn't know one of the girls that I took pictures with, her boyfriend was a security guard in the club. And throughout the whole entire time, dude was just keep on easing me down, man. And he did everything he could to irritate me. So
he was eyeballing you. He was setting you. He was looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, he was looking for a security guard. So he had that opportunity. Bum rushed me. I stood my ground. Next thing you know, I had 5 other bouncers all around me.
They was on your side or his side?
On his side. I mean, they're bouncers, man. So lucky for me because I was buying everyone drinks.
So you were looking like the big guy, right?
Yeah. And the fact that I was speaking American, I think the guy was Nigerian or something. This is South Africa.
Hater.
Yeah. Oh, some of the biggest haters while I was in South Africa. And I defended myself. I'm a big guy. He's a big guy. So hey, we're like 2 silverbacks looking at each other. And he got the other security guard. He started talking his language, whatever. And I was like, "Fuck you! You ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna do that, or whatever." But then again, someone like the guys that were protecting me, it's like I think it's best you close your tab and you leave, man, because they're gonna try to do something to you. So as I tried to go out, get a taxi, all I knew, all the security guards came right behind me.
Man.
And lucky for me, there was a security guard right me. There was a taxi driver right there. I jumped
got in the car.
Yeah, I hopped in that car. Just like it seemed like the taxi knew when to pull up. I was like, I got in, I went to a strip club. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. Yeah. But that was a wild night because it was amazing how fast things escalated so quickly. And dude, they were ready to put hands on me, all of them.
Of course.
And the fact that I was American too.
Yeah,
and the fact that I was American, and I was talking my shit, and I was like, dude, this is 2018.
And you were in there popping bottles, and guess what? The bouncers are usually the ones that get the cuties because they let them in special, or they might not let them pay the gate fee or whatever. You know how the bouncers do in order to get with that one chick in the club. So here you are coming in there, American, popping bottles, looking all suave, and of course he's gonna hate.
Yeah, man, that was some really extreme shit, man. And it happened so fast. From one point, I was dancing, enjoying myself, drinking, giving people shots here and there. To I had 5 or 6 security guards around me ready to beat my ass.
Yeah, it happens fast, very fast. All right.
It's crazy. Yeah, I can read this. I saw some additional info on O'Shea Duke Jackson. I don't have all the facts. Oh, I'm sorry. This is T Mac. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat.
Simplify, my
I don't
brother.
have all the facts, but the Russians were being bold and allegedly using racial terms
Mhm.
for a while, but a lot of restraint was shown before.
Right.
Because usually in that situation, if you outnumbered, if I know there's like 30 black dudes and I know this white dude talking, what am I going to do? You know, you're just talking. You can talk all you want. I know usually if somebody's doing that, usually they either drunk or they got a gun somewhere. It's one of the two. Because usually nobody talking like that. And I see David Dice wrote something. I can't really. Let's see. The country that Hamas attacked. If so, we cannot tell the country that was attacked by Hamas how to react. They're liable to do anything. So so in your thoughts, and this is what I say, you know, and I think I had this story before. Well, I don't even go into that story. So you think that in this, I know in 1 month, more children were killed in Gaza than in 4 years in the world. So are you saying that if somebody attacks you, you can do anything?
Should be in a level response, but not anything. And that's the whole thing. There's rules of engagement. That's the whole idea behind NATO. There's a whole idea behind the Geneva Convention. We have rules of engagement and what you can and cannot escalate into a war over.
Let's just go with what he said. Dave, I don't know if you travel. Let's say you travel. America attacks everybody. So you think if you travel, you have nothing to do with it. You just happen to go to Thailand. Or, you know, where's a place Colombia, you know, we got conflict in Colombia. We got conflict in Mexico. You go to Mexico, you just going to Cancun. They're like, well, you know, your president attacked us. We can take and do whatever we want to you. Is that fair? They kidnap your mom, your family, your daughter, your sister, and is that justified? So I'm just always wondering when we say, you know, is it proportionality? Or maybe maybe you're a person that says, hey, you know, country attacked and you can kill everybody, children, women, infants. You know, basically, you know, there's a bank that got robbed, and you know, who is it? You're in the bank. Somebody just robbed the bank, and you're in it, and it's like, well, you know, that person shouldn't have robbed the bank. We got to blow the bank up. Now you ain't have nothing to do with it. You were just in there trying to get your paycheck cash because it's Friday and you want to go out with your girl. But somebody robbed the bank, and you know they was black, and they was in your neighborhood. So do the cops have the right to just say, well, let's just blow up the whole bank?
I get where you're going with this, but in the relation to the whole Israeli situation, you would have to say the Russian would be representative of the Israeli.
No, I would.
Which is not right, because then that would mean the Russians
I'm saying
and blow away every black person they could see.
I'm saying the Russian is like Hamas, outnumbered, a little slap, didn't do no damage.
No. You can't downplay that, because what they supposedly did, they raided a festival. They killed X amount of people. They started raiding homes before they shot back over across the border.
No, I'm saying that I'm just saying in general. I killed 800 and you killed 800,000.
That's not proportional.
So that's what I'm saying. A slap in the face, does that deserve a kick and a stomp while you're down?
But then you got an invading other country. Here's the thing. And representative of that short video, it wasn't even the two countries that were involved. There was some random country that just decided to go around. Go ahead and relate that to who's a random country.
And I'm helping you. So let's see what David says. Fearless, you got it ill. We got to help David with this spelling. This is a little difficult.
He said, "You got it, I'll admit, but I was referring to the fight on camera where the brother was smacked, and I was saying the brother had the right to react according to the situation." Yes, the brother that got smacked was the one that should have responded proportionally or whatever. It was the crowd member that was just roaming behind that had nothing to do with the initial incident. That was the one that actually threw the first real punch that initiated the chaos. You can't control the crowd. That has nothing to do. That person's running around angry. Like Black Man Travel said, he's sitting there innocently not doing anything, but yet and still you have a hater. Somebody that's looking to pick a fight. For whatever reason, he's getting dusted up.
I want to go back to T-Mac. And T-Mac, we are in agreement with you. The Russian dude talked some smack. Not only talked some smack, he threw the first punch. We know that. What we are mad at is two things. One, how the news covered it. Because if you watched the news, you would have thought that they just came up to this Russian out of nowhere for no reason and no cause and just decided to wail on him. Just
viciously attacked him.
Viciously, just because he was white and they was black. That's, if you watch the news, that's what you would have thought. Like, wow, man, the black dudes, they just violent. They just came out of nowhere and did it. If you watch the whole thing, the black guy was actually restrained. He was trying to fight, and there was really no punches thrown. And then it was over.
More verbal than anything else.
Yep. The news covered it entirely wrong. That's one bad situation. But the other bad situation is people who got involved who had nothing to do with it found an opportunity to take advantage of a situation and then went way overboard. Because even the one dude who hit him, and then there's another who chased him, let's say those two. After he was down, there were people who just came randomly, kicked him, jacked him.
Ran up and got her wig snatched off, but she still went in and joined in on the kicking and the everything else.
That's what we're saying, entirely wrong. So two wrongs don't make a right. But what I really hate is how the news did it, because the news reaches millions of people, and the bias that they played to those millions of people without saying the truth. And here's the thing. I can understand if they didn't know the truth. Like, oh, we only got this one angle. But if you have the first newscaster saying, this is crazy, it's black people doing this, and then the brother comes on and immediately after says, we got a different view, and the view shows, and they don't even show the view. I mean, the view happens so fast, you don't even know what happens. They say, from our different view, the Russian, the Russian throw the first punch, which they don't even show. They still show the black dude throwing seems to be the first punch. That to me is more disgusting, because you are a news place where people are going to, and people are not going to research beyond what they see. They take that snippet and they go with what they see. That's the worst part of it. And the bias part of it, that how the news has portrayed this. And then they say how racial it was, and it was a racial hate crime. Yet they don't say the first part. Was the first part racial when the guy's calling him the N-word and then slaps him? So was the Russian being racial, or is it just the black people who kicked the guy? Were they the racial haters?
But I agree with what you're saying, and that's the problem. Even as children, for our generation, You know, what was the famous phrase when we were growing up as kids? Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
We're always taught through those little rhymes to ignore the names. Only when somebody touches you or you're being threatened with violence should you protect yourself. So even with that one snippet, you could see the verbal argument didn't escalate to a point beside maybe body bumping before they were separated. There was the random dude, that random guy that wanted to jump in just to start the chaos. The guys that don't give a shit, but they just want to be a part of something. You know, set it up to make themselves feel better. Those are the ones that cause the chaos. You can equate those guys to the ones that are the travel pookies.
Can you play that again? I want to see the where the Russian hits him, because I'm thinking that the black guy didn't even put up his fist. It was more like
it was the other guy with all black that had his fist up. The guy in the red was standing there. Those three were together. There was three black guys standing together. The one with the all black was the one that was looking like he wanted to start a fight. The white guy had never put his hands up yet until they went back in after they were separated, and then he reinitiated.
But even the guy in the red, I don't believe he put up.
No, he never put his hands up at all. Not at all. So we're gonna go ahead and play that.
Well, my thing was this: the first guy that made contact was wrong, but even the other guy that was there, he didn't get it. The guy with the Kango hat on, he still jumped in, and it still wasn't his fight.
Mm-hmm. That happens every time. If you ever look at a fight, when it comes to our people, there's always this random dude that wants to jump in and start throwing punches like a baby back bitch. I hate these dudes. They ain't man enough to front up on you. They want to sneak you.
And I can't say the guy with the hat snuck him. Maybe he's trying to defend his friend, but the Russian didn't touch him.
He wasn't even involved in the initial argument. That dude was just a random dude walking around the situation, waiting for an opportunity.
No, you know which one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the first dude with the hat.
Yeah.
He wasn't even involved. He was just there with his friend. And he didn't make contact, but he was the first one, which was first wrong. The dude who snuck on him, second wrong. So I'm not understanding that.
I mean, some of these
things I can't even justify
the crowd mentality, man. It does not make sense. I'm a prepper from way back. We already know. Minute some shit goes down, power goes out. The people in the city are the first ones that go, man. Survival of the fittest. You gonna just feel the fucking main brunt of it. That's why I don't like living in cities, man. I'd rather live somewhere rural, remote. I got my shit. I got my guns. I'm ready to go. You come on my property after all that fucking hell breaks loose out of the city. Now you looking for random people to take. Nah, don't come through my place. It's over for you.
We're gonna take this time as a break. The guys are interested. We'd like to have Ronin show us a commercial break, then we'll go on.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and show you a commercial break here. We thank you.
By the way, I'm going to start putting out some more content being here in the Philippines. I'm trying to get my mobility situation straight because they don't have Ubers out here. That means I had to buy a vehicle. Didn't think about that. So I'm going to play this little video to show you I got a little competition going, but that's just for my theme song for my content. But here you go.
Yo, listen up, warriors. This is the official Ronin Travelers theme song contest, and you are now part of it. You've seen the mission. You've heard the sound. Now it's time to choose the anthem that defines this journey. 8 songs, 1 legacy, and only you can decide which one rises above the rest. But hold up. This isn't just a quick click and bounce. If you want to compete, You must be an active subscriber, bell notification on, or you'll miss the final drop. And most importantly, you've got to listen to all 8 song samples, then comment below with your favorite. And give us that real talk feedback. We want all the constructive criticism. No filters, no fluff, just facts. The winner? Oh, you're not just picking a song. You're joining the Ronin Inner Circle. You'll get a free channel membership, a custom AI-generated image of you on the thumbnail of the official album cover, and first pick on the new swag drop, including the Ronin Travelers limited edition shirts coming soon. This is your moment, Ronin. Vote with purpose. Comment with power. Subscribe like your mission depends on it. The battlefield is the playlist until only one anthem survives. Let the voting begin.
Well, they were dropping bombs next to you. You didn't flinch.
Hey, I don't flinch. I'm battle tested.
And that was a little.
The unique thing about the songs are I actually integrated Tagalog, Visayan, Spanish, and Japanese. So it's a multilingual song. But the clips, the 8 clips have the same verse in it. It's just a little bit different phrasing. The biggest thing is if you go in and listen to the full 26-minute, but pick the song that you want, the beginning is the big thing, how the intro comes in before you get into the verses. But the verses are badass. I really liked it. My girl was really like, damn, that's awesome. You know, but yeah, just pick a song for me. And then, you know, my AI talents, of course, if you want your likeness on the album cover, I can do that. I'm going to do a little music video once I pick the final video, and I'm going to include your image in the video.
And if you see this, you can see what that brother's doing to us. Why don't you show that one? You got a better.
Oh yeah, it's over down here. There you go.
Oh wait,
I'm looking buffed out.
Oh man, I don't know what I did. Let me see. Oh, there. Oh, there. Shit. Go back. Hit what you.
Yeah,
did.
I got it.
There we go.
Yeah. No, that's not the best one. The best
There
one
we
is
go. There we go. Now you know. Look how good you want something generated.
Okay, y'all been in the gym. I got the dad bod going on and everything, but you two brothers over there, man, y'all dedicated.
Dude, I'm even taller than BMT. I like that how he do your AI.
It's just the angle of the camera, man. Stop it. We know you the shortest of the 3.
My goodness. See, if y'all want your AI generated theme, this is the way to go. You know, he's got it for you. You just got to pick and go with what song you like. I picked mine when I heard it. I said, this is the one I like. You know, so it goes from smooth to you know, jamming to hard rock. So any variety.
I'm Generation X, so I listen to it all, man. It was rap, easy, hard rock. I'm down for it all. And sometimes when I'm in the gym, man, I ain't listening to no hard rap. I'm listening to actual metal. Banging, head banging metal where I can just zone out and get into whatever I'm doing. So it ain't always rap or whatever for me.
So it's always good. Let me see. I'm gonna throw that one there. So
hold on, I'm gonna go get some swag real quick so y'all know I'm legit when I'm talking about clothes. Besides what you see here, hold on.
When we go get the swag, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what channel you missing to mine. Let's see. Go ahead and throw this one up. Get down to you like this. You ever drink Kool-Aid? Oh, it's sweet, smooth, and goes down easy. Now imagine someone slipped a little medicine in your drink. You wouldn't even notice it, right? That's what I do. I serve up stories, funny, sharp, and packed with metaphors so rich it's like seasoning to your brain. And we gonna laugh together, but don't get it twisted. There's a message to this madness. Maybe it hits you right away, or maybe it sneaks up on you later when you're driving home and staring up at your ceiling at 2 a.m. Either way, my goal is simple. Make you think, make you grow, and leave better than when you arrived. Now here's the thing. The truth can be bitter, but it doesn't always have to be hard to swallow. I mix it up, sweeten the dose with some wit and humor, and by the time I'm done, you've got a new perspective and maybe a smile on your face. That is the magic, and that is the mission. Now, let me hit you with some real talk. This is a two-way street. You sipping on this Kool-Aid, laughing, learning, leveling up, and that's all love. But here's the deal. If this hits different for you, if you caught a gem or even cracked a smile,
I need you to show me some love back. Now you hitting that subscribe button, it's like pulling a chair up to the table. Tap that like. It's like your way of saying, yeah, baby, this is hitting right. And drop me a comment, because I want to hear what's on your mind. Let's make this a conversation and not a monologue. This isn't just content, it's a vibe, it's a community, and you are a part of it. So go ahead, make your move. Let's grow, laugh, and learn together. Are you in?
So I put that if you want to subscribe to the other channel, that is in there. Let me see that swag, baby. I see cakes.
Well, you already see this shirt right here. So that's one. Then I got another one. This is more an embroidered one where you can get it stitched in. You don't have to have Simplify. If you're an Army dude, like I'm a Marine. So if you Army, Air Force, we can change the color. You can put your emblem on it. Like this one right here has a unit emblem on it. So I got different versions of the shirt. And then on this one, I really blew it out. I put my logo on the back. So put it over that way. So yeah, man, I'm still working out on which one I'm going to go with, but I want to be able to enable people when they order my shirts to actually, based on what branch of the service they were in, they could actually put an Army unit logo beside for U.S. Army, and then their name on the shirt. So obviously, Ronin are wandering warriors. All of us prior military guys are all Ronins. And we're out there doing whatever we need to do in order to do a mission for ourselves, our family, or whatnot. So that's the idea behind the shirt and the name. But yeah, somebody's going to get one of these shirts for free at least, and I'll customize it the way they want it. Aside for the, like I said, the image. I don't know if you're this. You could be the one in the new Ronin shirt promoting for me. I don't know. You know, but we'll see who at the end.
Fearless shirt, baby. You want a fearless shirt?
But you got to vote. Right now, I see a lot of votes for some other songs aside for the one you picked. So, you know, we'll see. I'm actually going to do it until August the 7th before I decide. All the songs should be out by 7 p.m. tonight. So by 7 p.m. your time, which is already passed, all the samples are out. But if you go to the long form video, you can actually go hear the whole song, and then figure out if you really like the intro and the final verses. I want to keep it within a 2 to 3 minute intro song, but some of them kind of dragged out. So I'm gonna have to do some clipping depending on what people like. Go ahead.
All right. That sounds like a player.
We know you got a whole website over there, man. You got content on days, you got travel books. We want to see a little promo for your stuff too.
Yeah, I don't have anything with me right now.
I know, but in future, I know you'll come up with something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got a lot of content out there. Brothers need to be aware that you're doing, you know, from your years of travel. But other than that, we're at 2 hours and 5 minutes, gentlemen. I know it's late there for you guys. You're past your bedtime. My day's just starting.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good day. Dave says I'll be dropping presentation like Willie Dynamite. I thought it was like Iceberg Slim. But we'll go with Willie Dynamite. We're good with it. Willie Dynamite's a good brother, you know. Pimping ain't easy.
Right.
So guys, what I want to say is this just in the thing. This one thing changed a whole city, a whole people, a whole perception. So remember, man, one event can change your life. That dude, neither one of them knew that at this moment that they would be on national news for something that happened at 3:30 in the morning somewhere else. So be careful what you do. Be careful who you do it with, and always guard your safety well. Because if not, man, you never know what can happen. Guys or girls, and you never know how somebody can take your narrative, your story, and twist it.
Yes,
man, that's the crazy part. So try to be the
they should know the way women can twist up a story.
Boy, I
but
know.
Again, they forget they got the guards down if it's not that.
What you got to say, BMT? Go ahead, brother.
Final words.
I mean, just you reach at a point in your life where you know what you got to think about every action you have. If you have a family, you know you have a well-paying job, walk away. It's not even worth doing. Like even for me, I have a temperament. I'm always ready, like to throw. Then I realized, like, man, it's not about me anymore. I have a 1-year-old, so it's like, I got to make sure I come back home safe. Each time I leave the house, I got to come back home safe. Now, I'm all for protecting yourself. Protect yourself at all costs. Stand up for yourself. But if you realize, like, hey, this is not the right place to be in, or things not going as smoothly, go home. Just go home. Especially at this age. I mean, we're traveling the world. We're doing things that most men that you see in these videos will never, ever, ever, ever experience. Why sacrifice all that just for 20 seconds or even less than that?
I believe it. In the words of Scooby-Doo, those who fight and run away live to fight another day.
I remember that. Jesus Christ, bro. Anyway, hey, we appreciate you guys stopping in. I know a lot of other brothers, like our brother Andre Carson Borders was on, and a whole bunch of other choices that you guys could have made. And we appreciate you guys stopping in and listening to our rants and our conversation. If there are future rants and conversations you'd like to hear from us in Lions Den, we are welcome to any comments in the section on replay or right after this. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about or our opinions on certain things, because we be struggling some weeks trying to figure out a topic you guys want to hear. So we want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys are interested in hearing our opinions about or conversations about, whether it be travel, business, life, marriage, whatever, children. Bruh, you got a wealth of information sitting here on this panel and all those aspects of life. So utilize us and let us educate you on the things you want to hear about. So what we're asking is hit the like button, hit the subscribe, the bell notification, leave a comment. If you're on the replay crew, we all have replay people that come in after the fact because they were in other rooms. Leave a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what we need to add to, or what conversations you want to hear from us in the future. But that's it. Thank you for joining us.
Stay to the end. We always got something to end it with.
Yeah, I got to change that ending too.
That's all right. We good to
Summertime.
go. Summertime. Oh yeah. Oh man.
I got to change from the winter Lions to some summer shit.
One last thing. Shannon Sharp and his no nonsense is a warning to quality brothers. Great topic, hopefully.
The Shannon Sharp issue.
That's a good topic.
Okay. Y'all want to hear that? Let us know. And we'll do something Sharp.
Sometimes you can't settle, man. I know sometimes you settling brings out other people. Now they trying to sue him some more. Man, sometimes you just
look at P. Diddy. He went all the way to jail and got off scot-free. He didn't settle for shit. Well, I mean, he gave Cassie some money, but after that, he was like, the store is closed. Fuck it. If I gotta go to jail.
Started it right there.
Yeah.
You know, shoot. Trump ain't there to get no money. He said, I grab him by the punani. Man, he don't care. All right, brothers. Good night. Good luck.
Yes,
we in it.
I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip. Just excuse me. Wrong. That's why I do me no matter what. So excuse me. The proof is in the story. You see that? Excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it for you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground. They really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't hang with lane. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip. me no matter what. So excuse me, lie if I do.